and welcome back to Socially Selective, the
Woohoo.
lifestyle podcast, brought to you by two best friends and their amazing
Chava.
producer. Yeah, I was going to include you, who love to have quality conversations, all while keeping it 100% real. I am Kaycee.
And I am Jenny.
And I'm Chava.
Chava's joining us today. I mean, he always
Yes.
joins us, but he's actually going to be in our YouTube video today.
Yes, we all got dressed up today, you guys. What are you, Chava?
I'm God. I always wanted to be God.
Yeah,
today you are.
it's a pretty good
I feel
costume.
powerful.
Good, as you should.
Yeah,
as
like
you
once I
should.
put this on, I was
Do you think it's like
good.
the bracelets?
You think
Yeah,
it's
it's like
the
the whole-
dress?
Yeah.
It's
I
probably the
feel
dress.
Are you just like freeballing it right now?
He has pants on, I think.
Yes, I guess so.
I guess so. I guess so.
I'm happy to be here. I finally made it to another episode of
Yes.
Socially Selective Podcast, and I'm just grateful to be here.
Oh, with your
sweetie.
sisters.
With
We
my
love you.
Sisters. So today I'm a witch, you guys. My hat is over there, but
But she's a trendy witch,
yeah,
so
I'm
she's not gonna
a
wear
I
that.
know.
trendy
That's a
witch.
modern witch, huh?
This is a
That's a
modern,
modern
witch.
witch.
A little slit, a little.
Honestly, it's
stars.
in right now. Like if you wore that out, I'd be like, that's
I feel
cute.
like you could go out.
This is
and-
just so cheap. Like it's like such.
Yeah, no, it's a
And I keep
cheap.
getting
Yeah. But if that was like a legit dress and you wore that,
Oh,
I'd
for
be like,
sure
you
it'd
look
be.
so
Yeah,
bougie.
so like it could be an actual dress.
Yeah,
to
like an
go out.
actual
I
outfit.
appreciate that, you guys.
And I'm a cop, but this time it's like the PG-13 cop, not the.
She was a sexy cop before this
not
one.
the rated R cop that I was before, in my little stockings and whatnot. But today, you guys, we're talking about mastering being happy.
Oh, yeah.
being alone. We mentioned this in our previous episode.
We did.
That we were going to talk a little bit about it. But I'm excited because
Today's
I
the
feel like
day.
we're good examples of that.
I think so too. And not only that, but we enjoy. We
Yeah,
love being by
we
ourselves.
love being alone.
I think sometimes when I'm with too many people, I get a little drained.
Yeah.
And so it's very important to just check in with yourself and make sure that you're okay.
Taking care of yourself
Yeah.
first.
Yeah. Because you can't help others if you're not good by yourself, which is what we always say. And often we forget because we're just so busy. You too. I think we all forget to take care of ourselves. We all mentioned that we're going back to the gym,
Yes.
which is great for our mental health, which we haven't been. Chava's flexing. If you can't see.
The veins are popping out like that.
Just mind your business if you see me looking a little more, a little thicker.
Mind your business.
Chava's like, if you see this muscle, mind your business.
Mind your business.
It's not like I'm working out or anything, but I am.
Oh my
But I
god.
But I am.
Is this freaking guns?
Chava, other than working out, what other updates do you have with your life?
Ooh, well, I'm back from my little break that I took.
And how was that?
It was
wasn't a real
good,
break.
but then I get bored, dude.
I know.
Yeah.
I
Us
feel
too.
like I needed to do
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
And as much as I like being by myself, I feel like I
You
like
miss
being
having
busy. I
people?
like being
Yeah.
on the
On the go.
on the go.
It's the workaholic
But it was cool.
in us.
Nothing much though.
You didn't end up going on your actual trip that
No.
you mentioned. What
Why
happened
not?
with that?
Because the original plan was Mexico, and
Oh, you're right. Oh,
And
it's
there's been a lot
bad.
of-
I was bummed out
Yeah.
I
after
sent
that.
him a video that I
Yeah.
saw.
You
on
sent it in the
Instagram.
group chat.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I put you both in it.
It was scary.
Mm.
You're
It's
right.
stressful.
I was wrong.
I was like, hell no.
and like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like
Ruined
they
it.
see it every day over there. You
That's
know.
so
It's
sad.
normal.
It's so
It's
sad.
not cool. But
Not where you
The
wanna
video
be.
was a lot of shooting, you guys. Like, yeah. I mean, basically, it was just that. A lot of
A lot of
shooting.
killing.
A
Yeah.
lot of shooting.
Oh,
a lot of
showing.
madness.
Showing.
So
Why
It
didn't you
was
like
better
do like
for
a
you not to
little
go.
like road trip or something? You
San
I
should
kind
Fran.
of left it last minute, and then maybe we can touch on this, but I didn't know how I felt about going by myself.
I would have
Oh,
gone
okay.
with you.
Yeah, she would have.
Well,
I'm like, I
but-
would have gone with you. When
She's
you
like, we
invite
could have
me.
both gone to San Francisco.
But you know what I mean? Like,
We could have all gone to San
Yeah.
Francisco.
I don't know, traveling by yourself sounds cool, but I don't know if actually doing
I've
it.
We're
never
gonna-
done it. Actually, I have. When I went to Spain by myself, I flew by myself. It was extremely stressful.
Really?
Oh, I cried. I cried at the airport.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's just stressful.
Yeah.
It's stressful
I
traveling
bet.
across the country by yourself. I had too many luggages, travel light. If I can give you an advice,
Yeah.
travel light. I
Pack
had
lightly.
way too much stuff. Yeah. And I was
always pack
struggling.
lightly.
And then my luggage wheel broke. So I had to haul that shit around. It was 50 pounds. Oh, my shoulder got thrown out. Yeah.
Yeah, I would cry too.
It was hard.
But yeah, we'll
But you
definitely
like
touch.
it.
I love.
But you
flying.
have you actually
haven't
had a
gone on,
trip
like,
by
a-
yourself?
No.
Okay.
No, not like
so
actually.
in theory,
like,
you love it, but you don't actually know if you like it.
yeah, I guess so. I like love the feeling of being on a flight by myself and like not knowing what's gonna happen next when I land somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
But I did have like a solo day when I was in Arizona with Justin, and I loved it. I literally made so many friends. I remember texting you and I was like,
I remember.
The bartenders at this restaurant love me. Like, we're all gonna hang out later.
Yeah.
I never texted them, which I should have. But it's just so easy for me to like make friends when I'm alone.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I need to.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I will be good at that, you know.
You would have.
That's like the scary part for me.
You're good at that.
Like the traveling part, you know, I can get there.
Yeah.
But then once I'm there, like,
what do I do?
Heavy.
But that's the beauty about it. Like, you can do whatever. You don't need to check in with anyone.
You're on your own timeline.
Don't talk about it, but I once went on dinner by myself and it just felt so weird.
Bro. You did?
Yeah. Like, not here. When I went to Miami.
Oh, wow.
I was by myself. I went to this restaurant. I was like, dude, I just feel off. Maybe because it was the first time, or I don't know.
Did you sit at a table or the bar?
At a table.
What do you usually do?
I usually sit at the bar.
At the bar, huh?
Yeah,
it seems a little less lonely.
more comfortable. Yeah. And then you can have conversations with the bartender if you want.
Yeah.
Like, a table's very like a lot of space for one person. That's how I see it. But I'm so happy you did that.
That's good.
I did it.
That's like a big step.
I did it, yeah. And it was like, I guess it was cool because it was the first time.
Yeah.
But then it did feel like, whoa, this
weird.
is different, you know?
Once you got to dessert, you're like, this is different.
I'll do it again eventually.
I think I've never had dinner by myself, but I've had lunch by myself.
Yeah.
And I talked about this with one of our listeners. She mentioned that she's done the same, like lunch, but she can't commit to dinner because it seems a little more intimate.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I've only had lunch by myself. I've never had dinner by myself.
I'm trying to think if I've had dinner. I have had dinner
because it is something a little more intimate and maybe a bigger deal. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because at lunch, everyone's by themselves. Everyone's at work, you know, on their break. It's fast, so you can't even worry about people looking at you.
Yeah.
Well, you want to share a result of the question?
Yeah. Yeah, no life updates for us, honestly. Other than that, we're going to be on Chava's podcast.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So by the time you listen to this, it probably
already came
out. Yeah.
So
go listen.
I'm sure it was fun.
We'll see. I mean, hopefully it's a good time. It will be a good time.
It was great, you guys.
That's going to be your first time on another podcast.
It already happened.
Right. It already happened. It was great. We had a great time. We had a great conversation. It was not weird or awkward at all.
Of course not. We're not awkward.
No, it was good.
Go listen to it, guys.
Shout it out.
Yeah, for creatives by creatives. You can find us on YouTube, on Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
With Chava and Nanders.
Hey. Alrighty. So we asked you guys a couple questions when we were making this little episode. And so the first question we asked was, do you enjoy going out to dinner by yourself? This goes back to what you guys were saying.
Yeah.
And 38 people voted yes, it is my favorite. And 32 voted no, it gives me anxiety. Which I was very surprised with how it was
pretty close. Yeah, it was very close.
Split up.
Almost 50-50.
Yeah. Do you guys like to you guys said you do, right? But lunch.
I've done lunch. I've never done dinner. But I mean, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would feel differently for dinner.
Yeah. What about brunch? I think it would. Do you think brunch would be different?
I don't think brunch would be weird. I think I've done breakfast by myself.
Yeah. Had a couple
You're just so tired that you don't even know what's going on.
You don't even care. Yeah.
Have you done breakfast by yourself?
I don't think so. No breakfast, no.
When I was in Arizona, I did breakfast by myself. And the girls just kept pouring me mimosas. And I was like, thank you so much. And she was like, what are you doing after this? And I was like, shopping. And she was like, good.
How cute.
I know, it was the best. So then the next question was, have you traveled solo?
Oh, yeah.
And 30 people said yes, and 31 said no, thanks.
Yeah, that's split.
It's very split up. I know. I was very surprised. I really thought most of these were going to be like no and no. But there's a lot of people that they love it.
That are okay with going on their own. Yeah. We actually have some cute listener stories that people sent in. One of our male listeners sent in his story, and it said, I was tired of waiting for people to go with. I went on my first major trip by myself to EDC in Las Vegas.
By himself?
Yeah.
Shoot.
I know. I thought
that's a big step.
That was a big one to go on by yourself. And he's like, I met so many cool people, and ever since then I've been traveling almost 90% by myself.
Oh, I love this person.
Yeah, isn't that cool? He's like, I honestly think it makes you grow as a person because it forces you to step out your comfort zone.
I like that.
And then he said, and not just that, the first day it was a little weird, but then I quickly got over being uncomfortable. I am a social dude. I got a mouthpiece on me. So after the first day up until now, I actually really enjoy flying.
This is who I think it is. He does have
and adventuring myself. Is it? I don't know this listener.
I went to high school
You might.
with him.
Yeah. He said, flying and adventuring myself as we speak. I'm on a flight to LA to watch the Dodgers play. Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, so he just went to
Oh
that
my God,
game.
can I be your friend?
It's a
Can we,
super cool
talk.
And then he said, and not
to
to say I can't travel by myself, but I have no problem going to things just on my own.
I love
Isn't that awesome?
that.
Yeah, all the things
That's
that he's
cool
doing
right
are so
there.
fun. EDC by yourself,
literally inspires
Dodgers
me.
game.
That
Yeah.
makes me
I
wanna
also
do
think
things
it's
by myself.
different being a guy
Or
traveling
guys,
by
yes.
yourself
Bro.
and a girl traveling by yourself.
Oh, I would
He
be
has to
terrified.
worry about a lot less things than we would have to worry about.
100%.
Mhm.
Yeah, especially if he's like a bigger guy too. Like, who's gonna fuck with you? Nobody.
No, because everyone's gonna be scared.
Yeah,
No
because
one
they're
else.
like, oh, he's gonna fuck with me.
Yeah.
Respect,
But
man.
us, I'm
That's
like,
awesome.
who's gonna steal me today?
Yeah, literally.
true.
Well, you guys,
It's a little different.
back to Arizona when I was
Yeah.
Ubering back to my hotel.
Oh, that's so scary.
Mhm.
I was a little scared.
Mhm.
I was honestly nervous. So
Yeah.
the Uber that picked me up, so I went to brunch, went shopping, and then I was like, I need to go take a nap. So I ordered an Uber, and my hotel was like at the end of Scottsdale, like very like corner of Scottsdale. So it was like a 20-minute drive.
Mhm.
And he like picked me up, and we were just like chatting it up like about anything. And then he asked me my ethnicity. He was like, "Are you Latina? Are you a Latina?" And I was like, yeah.
Be like, why?
Yeah, and he was
Are you a
like,
Latina?
and then he
Switch it around.
I was like, and I awkwardly laughed, and I was like, why are you asking me that? And he was like, oh, I'm just asking because I like can't, I'm not gonna just assume you're like
I'd be like,
ethnicity or
oh, that's such a weird question.
Yeah.
Do you ask everyone that?
yeah.
That's
and
weird.
so I was like, oh yeah, no, like I don't, this isn't self tanner, I'm this tan.
Yeah.
And then he was like, yeah, I have a thing for Latinas.
Ew.
And that's when I was
Creep.
like,
Creep.
And
and
like,
went
I have
on
a
my
gun in
phone,
my bag.
and I
Do
was
you also have a
literally,
thing
like,
for
texting.
guns?
Yeah.
Because I
Do
love
you also
guns.
have a thing for fist because
I got one right here.
But I felt so uncomfortable,
Yeah.
and this Uber driver ended up following me on Instagram right after he dropped me off.
Oh,
Yeah,
hell
which
no.
is so
It
weird.
was
It's because you have a
freaky.
really unique name.
Yeah, and so they
Creep.
found me on there.
Creep.
Block, delete.
Oh
ew.
yeah, dude, real
Mhm.
quick. But yeah, that was the only
No,
time,
ma'am.
like during that trip, that I was like, that was.
And those are
bad.
things I think guys wouldn't have to worry about.
No,
Which
of course not.
I
is
agree.
You
a
think
little
my
unfair.
Uber driver would have been like, "Hey Chava,
Hey,
sorry,
Chava, what
you
ethnicity
Latino?
are you?
Hey, you don't know that.
Do you sound a little
Maybe-
Latino?
Right?
Or are you white?
or is that self tanner?"
I'll be like,
And
not hear these
Chava would be like, this
accents.
is my off season actually. A little
Actually, look
pasty.
at this. Look how pale I look over here.
But yeah, so that's why I think I don't travel alone because I worry about those things.
I used to
Yeah.
talk
And
to
also
this
I
one-
have a fiance, you know.
Right.
Yeah, you
You
have
don't
someone
have
to
I have
talk
someone
you
that
don't
has
have
to
the
go
need
with me.
to
Yeah.
travel by yourself. But I used to talk to this one girl. She was tiny, dude. She was like 5 feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And she would travel the world. I think she still does. She would go to Italy for like a month.
Would
and then
she-
Spain for a month.
That's
And just like
awesome.
that. She
I
would
think
go
Would
that's
she
all the
tell
time.
you about like her fears? Or
Yeah,
no?
yeah, but she like, took her precautions, I guess.
Good.
And
And
Was
there are
careful.
things
she
that
would
you
get
can
her
do to be more
little,
careful.
Airbnbs and stuff.
Yeah.
But I thought that was amazing.
Aw.
Like, I admire that.
I want
think
to
it's
be that
awesome.
person. I
Yeah.
want to be like that.
Yeah.
That's like my life goal, you guys. Like I just want to pack my shit up and travel with my dog. I literally, that's all I want to
I
do.
love
Yeah.
it. Do
So
you have a
next-
story for us?
Yes, next story. So when we were like, oh, send us like your solo traveling experiences, this listener said, oh my gosh, yes. When I was studying in Europe, I would usually choose a city or a country that I've always dreamed of visiting. Since I was a kid, I wanted to travel the world. Wait, what? Did I just make words up? I did.
Did
I was
you?
like, what? I thought there's no world in there. Since I've always dreamed of visiting since I was a kid and travel there for the weekend.
Okay.
There we go. I typically explored the city alone on Saturdays and then go find a city tour or hiking group with strangers on Sundays, which I think that's so cute.
And it's easy in Europe because of the hostels
Yeah.
and stuff. They make it
And
very
there's
inclusive.
so many tourists out
super
there.
inclusive.
I absolutely loved traveling solo, though. Having so much freedom to decide when to wake up, where to go, what food to eat, and what things to buy was so freeing. Although I also like traveling with close friends, I think I prefer to travel solo. My favorite solo trip would have to be visiting Switzerland. I first visited the United Nations, then went to the Red Cross Museum. Going to that museum really reinforced my goal of becoming a doctor.
You cutie. We love you.
Yeah, we do love you so much. Then the next, skipped a sentence. Going to that museum. It's amazing how much medicine has done for humanity. Then the next day, I took a train to go around the lake and explore each stop. So I went to
Geneva.
I was like, Geneva to
Switzerland.
And then some more Switzerland names. But he went to a lot of places, you guys.
Yeah, he did.
A dream come true.
He still is planning on going to lots of places.
I love that.
Yeah.
And
this was also a male listener too.
Yes,
so.
also a male listener. But I think that's amazing. I honestly love doing this.
It's a dream.
Because I was I want to be like these people.
Yeah.
And if they can do it, I feel like I can do it too.
Absolutely.
Easily.
Yeah. But we're going to get into tips on how to master being happy by yourself. This is something that we all have to constantly work on. Kaycee and I are not perfect at this by any means. We're always trying to grow and better ourselves at all of these. And sometimes we fail, but guess what? We try again. So this first one, I think, is one of those that you have to constantly work on. Yeah. Focusing on actively not being a people pleaser, which I think we all try to do, even though we say we don't. We do. We try to please the people that we love, like our parents, our friends, or us. And sometimes that's extremely draining. I think focusing on other people's happiness takes away from your own. And so sometimes it makes it a little hard to focus on you when you're focusing so much on other people. What do you guys think?
I agree. I think especially growing up in like a Hispanic household, you're raised to like make your parents, obviously you want to make your parents proud, but like your life isn't going to be
for your parents.
Like your life should be for you. And then we're also taught like we have to support our parents once we like become a little more independent, which I think is
very
like community based, which I love that, but I also don't think your whole life and your whole purpose should be around what your parents want. Like there's so many people that go to school for things that their parents want them to do, but they're not happy with it. Like that's just so to me that's like so unfair.
And I agree. I feel like what do you think actually, Chava? How do you feel about this?
I struggle with that for sure. That's one of my biggest, I don't know if you can call it a weakness.
I don't think it's a weakness. I just think it's like how something we have to work on.
Yeah.
Especially with our culture.
Was raised in that way. You have to be nice. You have to say, I guess yes to a lot of things that you might not want to do.
And also being a man. I think you have a lot more responsibility.
The provider.
Yeah.
And you've mentioned this before. You feel like you have to be the provider. I feel like I've
gotten better at it. But it has taken me so much to the point that I'm like, okay, this is it. Like, enough,
Yeah.
And I wish that it wasn't that way. But, I'm still
And I think
better
we all do that. We all push ourselves to that point of like, you know what, I'm exhausted. Like, I don't have time for myself. I can't do anything else.
Yeah.
And we do it probably every month. And so, like I said, this is something that we're all trying to work on too. We're workaholics. We try to make people happy. Yeah. But at the end of the day, our happiness matters too. And so we need to focus on that. Also, remembering that you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea. And that's okay. Not everyone's going to like you. You're not going to like everyone. And that's fine. That's just a part of life. Not everyone is always going to love you. You're not always going to love everyone. And that's just a reminder that you have to keep telling yourself. What
next
else?
One?
Yeah, next one.
There goes my phone. I'm so annoyed. Okay, next one. Thanks for picking that up, Chava. I said it's important to realize not everyone is going to fall in love and have that happily ever after. So, like the way I see it, I feel like we were raised, like girls and guys, we've all been raised to like, well, you want to find like that special person and then you
like
will be happy.
That's the end goal.
Yes, that's your goal in life. And then like you can start having kids and like build this life together. But it's like, well, why not like teach?
Why not teach them to love yourself?
So distracting.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh,
we're like, Why not teach like young kids to like love themselves first? Like the end goal is not to find your other half. Like you are your person. Like that's who you need to be focusing on.
You have to make you happy. No one else is going to make you happy.
Exactly. So I don't know, going back to like being raised in a Hispanic household, like I feel like I've gotten that a lot recently, where it's like, well, when are you going to settle down? And like, when are you going to do this? And it's like,
I don't want to do that.
I'm not going to settle down with the first guy that gives me attention, because that's the thing I have to do. Like, I don't want that. I really don't.
Not just that, but you're not on their timeline. You're on your own timeline. Yeah. And I think in our community, or just in general, people think like, oh, by a certain age, you have to be with someone. You have to be married. Settled down. No, we're all on our own paths. We may never get there, and that's okay. That's just everybody on their own journey. And
I think that's something we need to normalize. Like,
I think
you don't have to get married. Changing. You don't have to like
have kids. And I think it's becoming more like, in our generation, it's more of a normal thing, where it's like, there's so many single women out there that they're like, I don't need a man. Fun rich aunt. Yes, and that travels a lot. I hope that's me. I'm already the fun aunt. I'm not rich, and I do try to travel a lot, but you're working on that.
I'll get there.
You'll get there.
Yeah, so I just get super passionate about this, because it's like happening to me now, and I'm like, I don't.
It's happening to all of us.
I don't need a fucking husband, mother.
We hear this,
and
it's crazy.
Or like princess movies. They always find their prince and live happily. Like,
you have to find your prince to be happy. No, baby, I am the prince.
I feel like we talked about this, but what are your thoughts on having a family and stuff?
Mine?
Yeah. Do you want a family eventually?
I think I found my person, I would consider maybe having like one kid.
Only if you find your person?
Oh yeah, like I wouldn't, like, I know that there's a lot of women out there that like
love to be moms and are made to be moms.
Yes, and like they have awesome. Like that nourishing side of them, but I'm not like that. Like, I love my niece, I love my little cousins, I will babysit any day of the week, but I just like, for me, like, I like to be able to give them back.
When they cry or when they poop their pants.
Like, oh, here, that's your job now. Yeah.
Aquí está tu bebé.
Because I've been going back and forth with this
about having kids.
Like,
I just think we always say
you don't have to settle, you don't have to do all these things, right? But then I personally want a family.
Okay.
You know, and I feel like in a way, sometimes I feel like selfish, because like my end goal is a family, and if I'm not willing to like settle for little stuff, I'm like, am I gonna get that? Do I have to like work on that?
Yes.
It's just a thought that I've had, you know?
You're not gonna find the like perfect person.
I don't think, like, in our relationship episode, nobody you're gonna find is gonna be perfect. Yeah. We're not perfect. And so seeking that is just going to bring a little bit of disappointment. So there are things that you're going to have to compromise on and settle for.
That's what I've been thinking.
Which is not the worst thing in the world.
Maybe because I'm getting older.
And you should.
I mean, we think about it too. Yeah.
And it's not like it doesn't have to be like, you know, soon, but
eventually that you do want a family.
Yes. Yeah. I want kids.
Yeah. But you can still have a family at your like late 30s. So you have
a better timeline than I think women feel more pressure, because complications start happening with your fertility system.
And like back to the kid thing.
Your eggs just start dying and you can produce sperm for the rest of your life.
Forever and ever.
Yeah. Just something I think about pool of babies every now and then.
I get it. Yeah.
I've also thought about like, I'm like, why don't I want kids? And then I think it's also like about what my body's gonna go through.
Really?
Yeah. I just like, dude, I've seen what it does to nipples. I've seen what it does to stomachs.
Your vagina.
I've seen what it does to vaginas. Yeah. I don't care how cute that baby is. That baby's not ruining my.
See, and I don't really care about that. I mean, bodies, whatever. But just having to actually care for someone every day.
And you're like, you can't get rid of them. I mean, you could, but like, that's fucked up.
The other thing I think about, like, what other thing is more fulfilling than raising a child, you know, raising a little you?
Traveling.
A new car.
Like you're like
a new Bentley, baby.
I feel like
I agree.
There's not that many things in life that are gonna make you as happy as having a kid.
Yeah.
And being a parent.
I think that's an opinion. That's personal. I don't think that's like that goes for everyone.
But aren't we here to do that?
Create life.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. It's just, I don't know.
It's a lot to think about.
I think that's a good mentality to have if you want kids, but then can also be a really bad mentality when someone is a shitty parent, but they're like, that's our purpose. Like, we have to be bringing kids in.
I mean, if you're a shitty parent, that's not your purpose.
You have to want to be a parent.
You have to be a good parent too, not just bring kids into this earth.
Some
just
people,
to not take
what was that look? Did you see that look?
He's like,
I thought I cut you off.
I was looking like, are you good?
I feel like some people just want kids, but they don't want to be parents.
Yes.
And we know a lot of
exactly.
those people. Yeah.
It's like when those people, like when people buy dogs, but they don't want to take the dogs out on a walk.
And then they give them away.
Like, what was the point?
But you can't do that with kids. You have to keep them.
Yeah. Unless you give them up for adoption, but that's fucked up.
But you have to do that in the beginning too. Like, you can't decide like, hey, I'm going to keep you for a year and then I'm going to give you back. You can't do that. You have like a certain amount of days. Back to being happy alone. We got into family planning.
Yeah, we got a little
twisted. But I think there's a lot of pros to being happy by yourself. Being alone doesn't necessarily mean you have to. I mean, being alone, you don't have to compromise with anyone. So that's one benefit to that. You will never have to be on anybody else's schedule. You'll be on your own schedule. And so I think being able to do what you want when you want to do is really cool. And a lot of us love that because we're a little selfish, you know, and that's okay. It's okay to be selfish. It's okay to want to be on your own timeline and to not worry about anybody else's schedule.
I don't take, like, when people call me selfish, I'm like, that's a compliment.
I don't think it's a bad thing to be selfish. Yeah, and I think we should all be a little more selfish.
Exactly. I think we were raised in a society where it's like, you can't be selfish.
We have to share.
Happy. No.
Do I have
if I worked hard for something,
why am I going to give it to someone else?
Why would I do that? Why am I going to why am I not going to be selfish because I put in so much work for something, you know? And also it goes to like some of the things that I do might upset people, but at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck.
It makes you happy.
It makes me happy. And so if that bothers you, everything, like, no matter what you do, it's always going to affect someone in some way. Might be positive, might be negative. So it's like, why are you going to stop yourself from doing things that make you happy because it might upset someone?
Exactly. Might too.
There's no need for that.
I agree with that. I think something else that we should all remind ourselves is that just because you're alone, and we brought this up on the last pod, just because you're alone, it doesn't mean that you're lonely.
Yeah.
It's okay to just chill by yourself, not go out and drink and be with all those people because sometimes people are happy with being by themselves and find joy in being independent. I know we do. Oh, yeah, I love 100%. Hanging out with myself sometimes.
I get so excited.
Yeah, it's super cool to just sit down and watch a movie with yourself, or like clean your own room and laugh with yourself, or like whatever show you're watching.
Literally sitting in there
talking to myself wall, like
that sounded so funny.
Just for spooky season, not every day. But also I think a misconception is just because like, for example, when people are in a party, just because you're surrounded by people, that doesn't mean that you're not lonely. You could be lonely being around 1,000 people and still feel lonely inside. Being alone and being lonely are two separate things. And so that's just something that you have to remember. Like, it's not a bad thing. I don't think. You can be lonely with tons of people around.
With all your friends around.
So
I honestly feel the happiest when, like, I feel the most fulfilled when I'm, like, in my room cleaning, and Des is next to me. Des is my dog.
Watching Real Life,
just like listening to watching the Real Housewives, or like listening to a podcast, like feeling like I'm getting like my life together. But I like to do it alone. Like I don't know what it is about like spending too much time with people that it's just like draining to me.
With certain people.
Yeah,
I think so too. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I spend a lot of time by myself.
You do.
And I like it. Sometimes it gets a little too much, you know. But for the most part, I'm pretty comfortable being on my own. And that's it. I don't know what else to say. I mean,
no, I agree. It's just something that everyone has to constantly work on. I know before it used to not be as easy for me. Yeah. We all had, you know, like when you're growing up, you have FOMO.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God, I really want to go hang out with my friends. But sometimes you just need to like relax.
Take a step back.
Take a second, get your life together, and focus on yourself. And that's not a bad thing to do, and I encourage everyone to work on it. We're working on it still. I always have to work on it.
Being alone.
No, just like making time for myself.
Oh yes, 100%.
I love being alone, but just finding the time because there's so many things to do. Yeah.
Even like going to like go get a coffee by yourself. It's just that's so I don't know.
Planning out your week, like I love making my schedule. I told you, like I make every Monday. I plan out how my week is gonna look like. Just so I know what I'm doing every day to make sure I get those things done. And so having that time for myself to do that. Or the gratitude journal. Have you been doing that?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I got one recently too. I want to start it though.
Yeah.
And so having those little moments to... Do you do that for your schedule?
Do you journal at all or...
No, but like set your schedule and stuff?
Not really. I mean, my work schedule.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was
have like
referring
my
to.
free time. But
okay.
Yeah, for the most part, I don't hang out with a lot of people.
I think it's kind of fun to even plan out your free time, just so that you're kind of like making
stuff,
sure
right?
that
you're including fun in there.
Yeah,
because I put
by yourself.
This week I was like date with Julio Saturday, podcast, which is something fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
Yeah. But I think this was a good episode. We'll get more into this like eventually.
Wait, we're not done.
No, that was it.
No,
we just have a story.
Story time.
We have a spooky story.
We skipped.
Spooky story.
Did we skip a lot?
You skipped mine.
I skipped myself too.
Did you? No, you.
I went ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Kaycee has one more.
I was like, geez, Jenny, here she goes.
That's a rush, Jenny.
I know. No, I just skipped it.
She's like, and then that's it, guys. Thanks for listening.
It's 8:30, you guys.
This
is bedtime.
But anyway, back to the one that we skipped. I also said do the things that make you feel good, whether that's like working out by yourself.
Self-care.
Yeah. Go like do the things that make like obviously go get a coffee, do your makeup. If that makes you feel good, go do that.
Yeah. It's empowering too.
Yeah. Like honestly, like how good, even when I feel sick, I still get ready because if I feel sick and I look like shit,
you're going to feel like shit.
It's going to be bad.
But if you look good, you're going to feel good.
Yeah,
even if you don't feel
you're like, I feel like shit, but I look so good.
Yeah. You're like, I am sick, but you can't tell. All this makeup.
I think it's also good to like hype yourself up.
Yeah, I think so too.
Having like, constantly. Like having positive thoughts about yourself is going to make you feel so comfortable in your own skin, which is going to make it easier for you to go to dinner by yourself.
Yeah, I agree.
feel like maybe some people aren't super comfortable being alone, but maybe it's because they don't do fun stuff when they're alone, you know?
With themselves.
Yeah, because maybe some people can't relate it to just doing nothing.
Yeah, you know and I don't think self time should be doing nothing. You can do things by yourself for yourself.
Yeah.
Journaling, exercising, listening to podcasts, planning a date for yourself, going to dinner. Walk. Yeah, going on a walk. Anything for yourself by yourself, I think is good. Yeah.
Like I said, sometimes I feel like, damn, I want to go out. Like I do spend a lot of time by myself, right? Yeah. Even though people might think that, but like on the weekends, sometimes I'm like, man, I wish I could go out right now, you know?
When you're working.
But then, like I said, I was kind of bored on, I think, Friday night or Saturday night. And I was like, dude, like, I haven't done anything all day. So I started watching Squid Games and I was like, oh, this is cool.
Oh my God. And then you watched the whole thing?
Yeah, I watched the fucking whole thing because I was bored. And
that was good. That was
it was good because I was doing something, you know?
Yeah.
Because a lot of times it's just like, man, I'm not doing shit.
Yeah. That was entertaining. Yeah.
Yeah.
So making plans for yourself, I think, is really good to do. Even if you don't make plans, find a good show to watch. It's the Squid Game, you guys. It's really good.
I don't like it. I was like, oh.
Kaycee, it's not for everyone. I think it's a little gory.
But I feel like you're very social too.
Oh, I am. No, that's the thing. I get that a lot, actually. Like, people are like, but what? You're so social. Like,
I don't think enjoying time by yourself and being social are opposite things. Yeah. I think they can go together extremely. I'm extremely social as well, and I love hanging out with myself.
Yeah. Yeah, like, once I'm around people, like, I feel energized and I have fun. I, like to meet new people. But honestly, like, when I'm driving back home, I'm like, I cannot wait to just be by myself.
Get in bed, watch a movie. Yeah.
I can do both. I can be an antisocial.
Like her,
cool.
she can also do both, just like you, Chava.
wait.
That clip when you said it, I thought it was so funny.
I can be a one night stand, but I can also.
Oh yeah, I can.
That one.
And I can do both. I can be anti, and
sometimes I can.
She can be antisocial and social.
Just sometimes when I hang out with people, I drain myself so much.
And I feel like
you're not hanging out with the right people.
I can only go out like once
once a week.
Once per weekend, you know, like
yeah.
Oh yeah, I
one
can't
day.
go
I'm
out
the same
twice.
too.
Oh no.
Because I'm like, dude, I'm just tired, man.
It's exhausting.
But I feel like that's just me. Because even when I started photography,
Yeah.
going to a shoot and having to talk to people, it was like, oh
Draining.
my goodness, I have to do this.
Yeah.
It
But
was
now
fun.
It's gotten
I was
better,
really nervous.
but yeah, it was just, I guess that's
Also,
just me.
sometimes the people make it a little weird, you know?
That's
Yeah,
true.
you've had weird clients.
When you're a
Yeah.
little weird, it's how's it gonna be fun? How's it gonna be fun?
If you're being a little weird.
That is
those
the
are
real
Now that wraps it
end.
up?
Yes, that wraps it up.
Alright.
But we do have one spooky story
Yeah, so
that
you know how we
Kaycee's gonna
usually,
read.
ask people to send us in their stories. Well, we're gonna do a spooky one today.
Yes.
Spooky
And this
story.
one Kaycee actually got from Reddit. So you guys can find it on there. But yeah. Tell us our spooky story.
Okay, this actually happened to me. It wasn't. From
Wait,
Reddit.
this happened to you?
No, I was kidding.
Oh my
No.
god.
You're
Oh,
like,
I
hold
hate
on,
you. I was
what?
like, no, it
No,
wasn't
dude,
you.
I think I would.
I was like, a farmhouse? That's not you.
Yeah, what the fuck am I doing at a farmhouse? Taking Instagram pictures. That's what I'm doing there. Okay, so the story starts with 4 years ago, I lived in a very large farmhouse that was converted into 2 apartments. The house was known as the old boys' home. Why is it that every time that I read a story, Chava has to get on his phone?
Sorry.
Is your blame the guy?
He literally goes, bites his lip. I just want you to listen to this scary story. So 4 years ago, I lived in a very large farmhouse that was converted into 2 apartments. The house was known as the old boys' home, whatever that means. It was used to house boys with behavioral issues, but was closed due to allegations of molestation. I'm already cringing. My toes are literally cringing right now. Anyway, I was living with my boyfriend and my 3-year-old daughter at the time. My bedroom had a large fireplace that had been boarded up and painted over. I decided to push my bed up against it one day while I was rearranging things. It was like a headboard. That night, around 1 a.m., I had heard a small voice saying, "Mom, Mommy."
No, thank you.
I had sat up in bed but didn't see anything. So I reached over my boyfriend trying to grab my daughter. I think she was just trying to grab him to grab the daughter and put her in our bed. I kept feeling around and I was still hearing the voice, but I couldn't feel her. My boyfriend woke me up and turned the bedside lamp on, asking me, "What the hell are you doing?" I explained that Amelia, which is the daughter, was trying to get in our bed and I was reaching for her. There was nobody there. My daughter was sound asleep in her room. Then the next night came, around 1 a.m. again. My dog had started to whimper at our door. So my boyfriend got up to take him outside. You know that feeling in bed when someone lies down next to you, where the bed pushes in and there's a warmth in your back? I felt that. So I assumed my boyfriend had come back to the bed. I rolled over. Oh, I lost my place. I rolled over, my boyfriend wasn't in the bed, and I felt the fucking bed release pressure. Dude, whatever was laying next to me has gotten up in that second. No. I moved my bed the next day to the other side of the room, and I never had another incident in the 2 years I remained in that house.
That's so scary. A ghost was in bed with her.
I read this and I was like, I have to tell this one. I just
that's
got
so
chills.
Cringe.
It's scary.
And I believe in ghosts too, so
that's
so scary.
Why would you even stay there?
I would not. I would have moved out that
I
day.
know. I would have moved out too.
Stay
2
here.
more years?
Ghost.
Oh no! As soon as something freaky happens, I'm like, "Where's my
That's
sage?
crazy,
Where is
right?
my
Go,
sage? I'm
you
Priest,
saging the
come
house."
sage my house, please. Throw water everywhere,
Yeah.
every corner, at my bed, especially my bed.
Un rosario, dos
Throw the
rosarios.
whole gallon
Just
on my
bring
bed.
the whole church over to the house, please. because-
Everyone pray.
Yeah, dude, isn't
That's
that
so
insane?
scary. Yeah.
And then that house was known for like molesting little boys that had
Yeah.
behavioral issues.
Hell no.
That's crazy. That's
Yes,
crazy.
man.
And
That
and she
bullshit.
heard "mommy." There was a voice calling her
That's
mom,
so sad.
like that. Oh,
So they probably probably wasn't a bad ghost.
maybe
They
not.
just
Well,
wanted
because
to
I feel
cuddle
like
with her.
yeah,
Like they just wanted her to
be
be
the
their
mom.
mommy. Yeah.
That's a good point.
But
Don't you want to
'cause
be?
they're
Don't
good
you
and-
want to be a parent,
They're
child? There you
definitely
go.
good and bad ghosts.
Oh, they are. There are.
Sorry. I mean,
There's
at
like
least she
spirits and
was
there's
not murdered.
demons.
Not matter.
Or
I'm not
haunted.
saying the actual word.
Demons.
Demons.
Oh.
I feel weird saying it.
All right, well, that wraps up our show today. Thank you guys for listening.
We hope we gave some helpful tips. Sorry if this episode was a little short.
Our last one was too long, so we had to keep it, cut it down. But don't forget to follow us on TikTok, Instagram. Leave us a review and rating on Apple Podcasts. And as always, follow Sierra Nutrition
for 15%.
And mention Socially Selective for 15%.
Yeah. And I actually want to challenge all of you to like take yourself out to a little date.
Maybe you can take yourself out to Sierra Nutrition.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
And then send us a pic of you with your drink because that'd be cute.
That'd be so cute. And we'll post you on our Insta if you like it. But yeah, literally try to do things alone, you guys. It's not that scary. Go to a coffee date. Go on a walk. Walk your dog by yourself. Dude, I used to be so bad about going to the gym by myself. I couldn't go to the gym by myself for the longest time.
And I only like going by myself.
But now I will only go by myself now.
Makes it way longer.
Too long. And you don't work out as hard. But I love it going by myself. But yeah, challenge yourself, y'all.
It's not that bad.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for listening.
Love you.
We will see you next week.
Have a spooky day.